Are you ready to grow fresh, delicious greens right at home without needing a green thumb? Microgreens are the perfect way to add nutrients, flavor, and fun to your meals. And the best part? They're super easy to grow. Today, I'm going to show you step by step how to start your very own microgreen garden. Let's get growing. And be sure to stay till the very end because I have a mind-blowing secret tip that you're not going to want to miss. Hey Microgreen Thumbs, I'm Connor Hebel with Amelia Island Microgreens, your go-to source for all things microgreens. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or a total beginner, growing microgreens is one of the easiest and most rewarding ways to enjoy fresh, nutrient-packed greens right in your kitchen. So first things first, let's get everything you need. So there's two ways we can go about this. One way is to DIY it by finding all the soil, the seeds, the trays, all of that, measuring it. It can be a little bit tedious and a little time consuming. So if you're a little intimidated by growing your own food, I would not recommend this way. I would recommend getting a microgreen kit. Everything's measured out. You just open your box and you're ready to go. So what you'll need, let's talk about seeds first. Seeds are super important to get the good quality seeds. You want to get seeds that are pathogen tested. And why I say that is, remember like 5 or 6 years ago, there were the E. coli and salmonella scares with sprouting? That was because people were getting seeds that had not been tested for pathogens. So they were incubating all that salmonella and E. coli in their sprouting jar. Because you're eating so closely to that seed, you have no room for error in having any pathogens in there. Yikes. So let's make sure that we get pathogen tested seeds and we won't have any problem with that. Plus, another benefit to that is typically when they test for pathogens, they also test the germination rate. So you're going to have the best quality seeds that will germinate, because sometimes you'll get seeds that won't. And so we want to have high germination rate and pathogen tested seeds. As a bonus, it's great to have organic, heirloom, non-GMO seeds when that's available. Another thing that you're going to want to get is soil. So there's many different options for soil. My personal favorite is called coco coir, and it is a sterilized coconut husk. Why I love this one is it's easy to grow on, and you don't have eruptions of bugs because it's been sterilized. With soil, you have the risk of getting bugs in your house, and I just prefer to avoid that. I've fought weevils before. I don't want to fight bugs again. It's just not my thing. So I prefer coco coir. Another thing you're going to want to get is a grow tray. My suggestion is get a 2-tier grow tray like this, one where you can lift it up, put a cup of water, and put that back down. The reason why this is so important is because it significantly reduces your risk of mold. Since microgreens are grown so densely, there's not a lot of ventilation going through there. So if you pour water on top, then there's a high chance of mold because there's no airflow going through there. So lifting that tray up, putting a cup of water in, and putting that back down is going to be your best bet in reducing your risk of mold. I highly recommend it. I've grown microgreens for 12 years, and when I started growing with this, it was a huge game changer. So start here, don't do what I did. And of course, a spray bottle for watering. And another thing, you want to get good quality water, so ideally not tap water because it can have some harsh chemicals and chlorine. And the last thing you'll need is tin foil or a dark space for the first 3 days of germination because we're going to keep it in a cool, dark space. And that's it. You don't need a ton of space, fancy tools, or even a garden to get started. Just a countertop that you can put your microgreens on and that has a little bit of light coming in. Okay, so now fill your container with your coco coir. Spread it out evenly and gently press it down to create a firm base for your seeds. Just make sure you don't press too hard because you want your roots to be able to have some airflow going in there. This step ensures your microgreens grow evenly and have good root support. The next step is your seeds. If you are DIYing this, you're going to want to go onto a seed calculator and calculate the size of your tray to the seeds that you have, and make sure you get the right quantity of seeds for your tray. For those of you with a microgreen kit, you just simply open up the seed packet and evenly spread it across your tray. You're going to want to keep it as even as possible and avoid having big clumps of seeds because that will give you a higher chance of mold. Because where it's grown super densely, there's going to be less ventilation. So don't go overboard. Microgreens like a little breathing room. Alright, now it's time for water. For those of you with an Amelia Island microgreen kit, you'll have a little pH test strip. This is an optional step, however I feel like it makes a huge difference to be able to make sure that you're getting the optimal water for your microgreens. So for those of you who are familiar with the pH scale, you have your alkaline side and your acidic side. And what you're looking for your microgreens is right in the middle, at about 6.5 to 7 on that pH scale. So go ahead and take that pH test strip, dip it into the water, pull it back out, and match it with the key on your instructions. And if it's a little bit more acidic, go ahead and put some baking soda in your water. If it's more alkaline, then add a little bit of lemon or some vinegar, and that will help balance it out. Alright, so now that you have pH balanced water, we're gonna go ahead and give our seeds a good misting with your spray bottle. The goal here is to keep your soil moist but never soggy. Microgreens don't like wet. So if you're using coco coir, one of the things I absolutely love about it is it's like a mood ring. You can see when you're needing to water and when you're overwatered. So what I like to do is take one of these compressed coconut pucks like this and just look at how it's a lighter brown compared to when I pour water on it. Whenever it looks like this lighter brown, that means you need to water your microgreens. On the other side, if it looks like a mud pie, you don't need to water your microgreens for a bit. You want to avoid the two ends of those spectrums. If it's kind of slightly damp, kind of a dark brown but not super dark, that's where you want it. Where it's not overly watered, but it's not gonna dry up either. So now for the first 3 days, it's gonna be super simple. You'll take a piece of tinfoil and put it over your tray. And for these first 3 days, you just lift that tinfoil up, mist your seeds, and mist the underside of that tinfoil once a day for the next 3 days. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. That way you never miss another video and you get to know everything about microgreens. If you're ready to dive even deeper into microgreens, head over to AmeliaIslandMicrogreens.com/101 for a free masterclass that dives into microgreen growing, taking you from microgreen beginner to microgreen grower. It uses my 12 years of microgreen growing knowledge to be able to inspire you to grow your own microgreens easily and effortlessly. So head over to AmeliaIslandMicrogreens.com/101 to find out more. All right, so now we're at day 4. This is where things change and get really cool. So now you're gonna take off that tinfoil, take your microgreens and put them next to a window. Ambient light's perfect, it doesn't have to be direct sunlight. And if you notice that you just don't have enough light in your house, that's okay. There are grow lights you can get that will simulate the sunlight and be just as good. And you can get them on like Amazon or Facebook Marketplace pretty easily. I'll link a couple down below that I like, and you can check those out or check out other ones. Okay, so now for watering. This is where it gets really cool. You lift up those 2 trays, put a cup of water in, put that back down. And I suggest waiting 15 minutes, then coming back over and just making sure there's no water in that second tray. And the reason why is you don't want your microgreens soaked in water. You want to keep them dry, but you want them to have enough water that they grow. And the reason why you don't want that water is you don't want root rot or mold. So just checking on it, making sure it's doing well is all you need to do. Just a little bit of water once a day and just coming back 15 minutes later. And you'll do this once a day for the next 7 days. All right, it's day 7. Guess what? It is time to eat these microgreens. So I'm just gonna harvest what I want to eat today, and I'm gonna let the rest continue growing. So for the rest that's growing, I'm just gonna do the same stuff that I've been doing. Cup of water, check back 15 minutes. And now that I'm at day 7, I have 14 days to eat my microgreens before they're gonna start turning sour. So if I can't eat them in that time, then I'll go ahead and harvest them and put them in the fridge, and that'll give me another 14 days to eat off of them. If you want to learn more about how to harvest your microgreens, check out this video right here where I will go in depth on how to harvest and how to store them so you can get the best freshness from your microgreens. So now I want to hear from you. What's your biggest takeaway from this video? Are you ready to start growing your microgreens? If so, what are you most excited about? I love hearing from you and I read all my comments. And if you have any questions, comment them down below. You never know, I might do a video that highlights your question because there's probably another person who has that same exact question, and that way I'm able to help all of you. So let's talk about what can you add your microgreens to. You can add them to everything that you're eating, from soups, salads, sandwiches, smoothies, even just as a garnish. They'll bring a burst of flavor and nutrients to any dish. Not only are microgreens fun and easy to grow, they're also packed with up to 40% more nutrient density than your mature greens. Plus, growing your own is a sustainable and cost-effective way to bring fresh produce into your home. It's a win-win. Thanks for joining me on this microgreen growing journey. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss more gardening tips. And if you're ready to grow with confidence, visit AmeliaIslandMicrogreens.com/101 to enroll in my Microgreens 101 Masterclass. It's your ultimate guide to thriving microgreens every time. Have any questions or tips of your own? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, the smallest seeds can make the biggest impact on your plate and in your life. Stay curious, keep growing, and I'll see you in my next video. As always, stay awesome.